Hello and welcome to the So What for January 6th, 2026. The So What's an occasional video series we do where we talk about what events outside of aviation uh, imply for commercial aviation in the US. And today's So What is the Venezuelan incursion over the weekend, where, as everybody probably knows, the Trump administration dispatched troops to capture and relocate Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro and his wife to New York to face trial on various drug trafficking and other charges. The reason this is important is we've been saying here at Signal for the better part of 5 years that based on long-term geopolitical and demographic trends, that the world was changing from the one we'd always known, at least since 1945, have known as one where free trade was basically guaranteed for all through the power of the US military funded by the US taxpayer. And since the end of the Cold War, slowly that has been disintegrating and was going to be replaced by something that was more akin to what the US had known and the world had known, frankly, for the history of our republic since its founding, and certainly since the Monroe Doctrine was first voiced in 1823 through at least the Wilsonian era of the second decade of the 20th century, if not the end of World War II. And that was something known as spheres of influence. And what we're seeing here is the US reasserting the sort of dormant Monroe Doctrine that the Obama administration in 2013 or so had basically declared non existent anymore. And the Trump administration is reasserting itself in that regard. And we think that irrespective of what happens after 2028, that you're likely to see the next administration, whether it's Republican or Democratic, follow that same path because that's the path that is available to them, given what their options are. What's important about that is that means that trade patterns are likely to become less dominant or focused on transatlantic and trans-Pacific trade routes with countries across those oceans, and more focused intra-U.S. and intra-Americas, because that's the area that the U.S. Expects to exert its primary influence in, and frankly, where the demographics and geopolitics are more favorable than they are in Europe or in the Far East. So, because of that, obviously, where trade patterns flow, travel patterns tend to follow. And for U.S. airports, the so what really is this is how airlines are going to start to look at capacity. Where are they allocating it within the US? Where are they allocating within the Americas? And less importantly, where are they putting it, again, relative to the size of the economy across oceans? So airlines know this, and airport leaders need to understand this so they can start determining how their airports are affected by these emerging trade and travel patterns that have only been underscored and emphasized by the past weekend's actions in Venezuela.